This morning we're in the kitchen with an ice cream experiment.
And Ty Owen is here from COSI. He's going to show us how to make liquid nitrogen ice cream.
Liquid nitrogen ice cream.
Don't try this at home.
Take
Not
that,
try at
Paula
home.
Dean.
So we know about nitrogen, right? Nitrogen is one of the most common gases in our air. It makes up about 4/5 of our air. But when you get nitrogen really, really cold, it changes into a liquid.
That's
and by
part of what
cold,
makes our sky blue.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
So, and by really, really cold, I mean super cold, 320 degrees below zero.
Wow.
It'll turn into a liquid. So I'm going to add some of it into this pan so we can see it here.
Okay.
Now, you have to be really careful handling this.
You do. You can see that I've got gloves and goggles on. These cryo gloves will protect your hands from that. But the neat thing in this
Can
nitrogen...
you see that boil?
You can
see it
feel it,
under
that
the smoke. It's actually
temperature
boiling,
change.
right? As it boils, it's changing into a gas, just like anything changes into a gas when it boils. Nitrogen's doing the same thing. So we're going to use this because all it's going to do is change back into that nitrogen gas to make our ice cream. We'll end up with just the stuff we put in the ice cream by the end
Now,
of it.
there are some big kitchens that actually do this.
Yeah, you can do some really interesting things with nitrogen that you couldn't do other ways. Freezing marshmallows, again, flash freezing ice cream. The faster you freeze ice cream, the smoother the ice crystals you get.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you ever had ice cream that's set in the freezer for a really long time, I know it's crazy to think about leaving ice cream in the freezer for a long time. It gets really crunchy. Those crystals get really big, and that's what you're tasting is the crunchiness. So the crystals are small.
Huh.
Okay.
It's really smooth. So we've got our ingredients set over here. Sean, if you want to add those.
Sure.
First thing we're going to do is add the milk.
milk
We've got
first?
a half gallon of vitamin D
we're
milk.
using all
Now,
this.
it's really important to just make sure you keep pouring that until I tell you to stop, right? The most important thing in science is measurements. So keep pouring, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Why are you stopping? Oh, yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, heavy whipping cream is going to be the next one.
Don't
You can't have
screw
ice
with me,
cream
Ty.
without-
All right.
We're making ice cream. It's early. This is a treat.
This is a. Oh,
So how much?
cool that is.
Yeah, you can see it bubbling and rippling as that smoke dissipates.
sorry.
Ooh,
Ooh, shiny.
instant pudding mix is going to be
Throw
the
that
next.
in there as well?
Yeah, we're going to add
Okay.
about 2 containers of that
Okay.
and mix that up. And the final thing we're going to need is some sweetened condensed milk, right?
Okay.
It's going to give us a sugary taste. It's going to add a little bit more milk and cream.
Oh, wow.
And it has the added effect of kind of looking like liquid snot, which is fantastic.
Which is always-
Extra
always
gross.
a good
Oh,
thing.
It's the most delicious thing.
I'm getting a toothache already
No.
with this.
So Sean's going to add all that in there, mix that up, and there's one other cool thing I brought that we can talk about with liquid nitrogen while she mixes that up. I'm going to add some more of this.
Okay.
But you guys can see what looks like smoke coming off of there. It's actually not smoke. It's a cloud. It's freezing that water vapor in the air. So, Marshall, what I want you to do is spray some of that whipped cream. That's just aerosol can whipped cream in there. And bring your fingers back just a little bit as you do that. Great. That's perfect. Just right there. So we're going to let that sit there and freeze just for a second.
So that'll freeze all by itself, just like that.
Yeah, it's sitting in that liquid nitrogen 320 degrees below zero. So it's not going to take too long for that to freeze. Now, we'll get that nitrogen off of there. Make sure that's really, really frozen here. What I want you to do, I'm going to give you a big piece of that. Go ahead and take a nice, wonderful bite of that inside your mouth. It is going to be very cold. But we can see that wonderful cloud coming off of your mouth, right? There's a lot more water vapor in your mouth than in the air, so you're going to be able to blow smoke a little bit
Marshall's
like
breath
some
was
dragon.
like that earlier,
Yeah,
though.
some
How do
little
you
bit
know?
exaggerates that dragon breath problem a little bit.
Wow.
So really,
No,
really
I mean, it's just frozen whipped cream.
It's just frozen whipped cream, right? The same thing might happen if you got a frozen chunk of whipped cream out of your freezer and put it in your mouth immediately. But this is just a little bit exaggerated because it's so cold. And there.
Are you all mixed?
So that's looking,
I'm trying.
That's looking pretty
Okay.
good. That's
We've
looking
got
pretty
some
good
big
mixed up.
clumpies in
So
there,
here's
but-
what we're going to do.
Okay.
Marshall, you want to help me stir on this? I'm going to add some liquid nitrogen. So you
So I
grab
stand
the
back?
stir spoon.
Got that.
Add that.
Okay.
and
I've
we're
got
just
the
gonna-
big gloves on.
Yeah, we're going to add this a little bit at a time. So just keep that moving.
Okay. Double, toil and trouble.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
Macbeth
it's so
joke for
cold.
the
Wow.
audience out there.
All around it.
So yeah, it's super cold. A really nice treat in the
Listen to
summertime.
it sizzle.
Yeah, it's actually sitting on the surface of that water, and because the ingredients we put in, even though they just came out of the fridge and they're really cold, they're relatively warm compared to 320 degrees below zero.
Wow,
in there.
okay.
So it's
All
taking
right.
just a minute. So as we hear it sizzle, we know there's still some nitrogen in there, but I'm going to add just a little bit more as we hear that sizzling slow down.
Wow.
Take a look here.
Oh my goodness.
So we're starting to
Okay,
get
Ty,
a
we're
little bit
taking your
frozen
word for
something.
it. We
Look
can't
at-
see a thing.
It's starting to freeze. We can see some
Oh
chunks starting to
my
come out of
gosh.
there.
Turning into little
It's
chunky
still
things.
looking like a little bit like ice cream soup in there. So we'll go ahead and add some more liquid nitrogen in here.
We've
I'll
got-
just take a couple
We're
minutes
about
now.
out of time.
Oh shoot. Are we going to be able to see the finished product? Woo.
That is so cool.
We can maybe come back after
Or
break.
cold. Oh, now it's thickening
Now
up.
we're thickening up. You can
There it
feel
is.
that as you're stirring, starting to thicken up there.
See
It's
that?
so cold. Well, actually
Look how
feels
cool
good.
that is.
There we go. Look at that.
Look at
Oh,
that.
that's
We have
incredible.
ice
Here,
cream.
hang on.
Ice cream scoop.
I have a.
Are you
here's
going
a
to try
spoon.
it?
I'm going to try it.
Is it
yeah.
too cold to
Let me
eat?
get a spoon. It's pretty cold, but we'll make sure as long as it's not smoking.
And?
Should be pretty good.
You make some pretty good ice cream.
Why, thank you. I've
That's
been
pretty
working
good.
on it.
Very good job, guys.
Very nice.
I
Ooh,
got that
that's nice
COSI
and sweet.
recipe.
That's fantastic. Oh, and that's, look at that. It's just plain old frozen.
It's
going to
be frozen to the side of the bowl, right? That metal bowl is going to conduct temperature a lot better than the liquid in the center, so it's going to freeze the sides first. So the inside is going to be a little bit smoother than the outside.
Ty, we got to go. But this
How
is really
cool.
fantastic. We appreciate it. Here.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ty.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you,
us, guys.
COSI. Soon to open up a ice cream store near you.
Right?
So
We'll be
watch
right
out.
back.
Gotta try.
Oh, yeah. It's good. Oh, making a mess.
I know.